All right, we are going to go ahead and move on to the Western Conference. And we're going to start with a series that is an interesting one to me for a lot of reasons, with the Colorado Avalanche versus the Winnipeg Jets. Now, Colorado-Winnipeg is an odd series to me, because if you had asked me 2 weeks ago who was going to win this series, I would have said Colorado is going to sweep the Winnipeg Jets. And if you ask me today, it's a totally different answer, because of how these teams have been playing in their last 10 games. I mean, it was a total flip of the script, and I think that this actually leads us to a pretty interesting playoff series, because you have one team that I think is actually way better. Like, I think the Avalanche are way better, but the Jets are trending. Really trending. Like, really, really trending. So, in your take, what makes you excited for this series?
Two teams that Central Division rivals there, but I think it's going to be another fast series. The Avalanche like to play fast, but I mean, the Jets, on paper, I don't think you see them as, or not you in particular, but people see them as a real threat to the Avalanche. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun with how they've, like you're saying, how they're trending. I mean, you look at the Jets 8-2-0 in the last 10, and the Avalanche 4-4-2. And so you got one team kind of, they're going in opposite directions.
Yep.
The way they finish the season. And we've always known, it's not always, but a lot of times, the way you finish the season is probably going to be kind of the way you at least start your playoff series. And that first game's huge in a series. So
the fact that this is a Winnipeg home ice series.
Yeah.
Great.
I didn't even realize it was until the other day.
It is bananas how quick, like, the Avs have trended downwards so much in the last 10 games, and the Jets have trended upwards that they literally flipped. It wasn't that long ago we were talking about Nashville cashing for that last spot. I sit there and I process this, and I say, okay, I want to talk about the Jets for a minute, what I think they need to do to win. I think that there's one clear statement here. And that one clear statement is a guy named Connor Hellebuck, who played 60 games, and had a .921 save percentage. That's good.
He is way too consistent
Every year. Here's the other thing. I want to read some names to you. Mark Scheifele, Josh Morrissey, Kyle Connor, Nikolai Ehlers, Sean Monahan, Tyler Toffoli, Cole Perfetti, Vlad Nemestikov, Gabriel Velarde, Mason Appleton, Adam Lowry, Nito Niederreiter, Neil Poink, Alex Iafallo, Brendan Dillon, Morgan Barron, Nate Schmidt. Is there a weak name on that list of guys I just read? I think I read 15 names there.
No, I mean, I think they've got a very balanced hockey team. They got some scoring up on the top side, but they get scoring and defense. They get depth scoring. They get good defense. So I don't see that. It's not a bad roster. Is it as, I guess, star-studded per se as you could say from the Avalanche?
Well, let me stop you there for a second. Let me read a list of names to you. And I'm going to leave out three main names. And you'll know who they are the second I read this list. But I'm going to leave out three names off this list. Casey Middlestat, Jonathan Drouin, Valery Nichushkin, Devon Tays, Ross Colton, Arturi Lehkonen, Sean Walker, Miles Wood, Josh Manson, Andrew Cogliano, Sam Girard, Jakub Trenin, Zach Parise. If you were to take out I took out 3 names. And by the way, I could have done the exact same thing on the other list of guys as well and just started at Ehlers, Monahan, Toffoli. Like, I think remove top 3, the rest of the roster, I think you have very clear favorites.
Yeah.
Well, I say that. I feel like there's a clear favorite. Do you feel like there's a clear favorite there?
I think so. Oh, yeah.
Who do you think it is? I'm just like, if you're like, it's the Avs, somebody be like, oh, that's not what I was talking about. Do you feel like it's the Jets?
With who you named off? No.
Oh, you think the Avs have the advantage?
I like the Avs. I like the Avs, even without the top.
Really? Okay, so maybe that's interesting because I was like, oh, man, it's not even close how much better the Jets are. That's interesting. So why do you feel like the Avs? That makes logical sense. I mean, you're welcome to your opinion. Maybe it's just the way I process players.
No,
a reason why you like that Avs roster outside the top 3 more?
I think that maybe it's just from the Avalanche over the last few seasons because you don't hear much about, at least in the last couple seasons, about the Jets. Especially this year. You're removing the top 3 out of the Jets. I mean, I like the way Madruin has played this season. You've got a really good, and he's been surprisingly good because he's been kind of just average most of the time. Now maybe it's because the in Colorado he's got some good line mates and whatnot. But I like not spend too much time on him. But Devon Taves and Gerard.
Yeah.
So they've got a very good lineup, I think. I don't know if it's that much better.
And we haven't even mentioned McKinnon.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's the same way. You take out the top 3 out of the Jets. Really, I think it's a pretty evenly matched series.
Yeah.
Outside of the top, outside of Makar and things like that, I think you're looking at a fairly evenly matched series.
Do you think? I think the one big discrepancy in this series is the goaltending.
Yep.
And I watched a lot of Colorado down the stretch, and there was a clear issue with their goaltending.
Oh yeah,
it was bad.
Georgiev, hopefully,
yeah,
right, yeah. 302 GAA and an 897 save percentage for a starting goalie in the National Hockey League with 63 games played. That's not good compared to Hellebuck, who's pretty much played the same amount of games, -3, 239, 921.
I can't believe Georgiev played.
I didn't know he played that many
63 games. And what that tells me is Colorado's goaltending. I mean, no wonder he died out at the end of the year too. I mean, Zook's worn out. Let's go ahead. This series for me, this is going to be wild. I think of any series that could be a sweep. I'm taking this one, and I'm saying the Jets sweep the Avs, and I think it comes down to goaltending. Now, I don't know that that'll happen because I think that Colorado's going to win a couple, but I think the Jets are going to take this series in 5 or 6 because I think goaltending for Colorado is that bad or just that worn out right now. I don't know. Who do you think takes the series?
Yeah, I think the Jets take this in. I think it's in 5 or 6. I can't put a number on. If I had to put one, I'd probably say 5. Jets in 5. But yeah, I do not like the goaltending in Colorado at all. Compared to a very steady, consistent Connor Hellebuck, who you can pretty much rely on every night. He may have one of those games where he just doesn't show up, but
rare.
It's very rare, and he's so good every year. So I like the Jets in 5.
I love it.